Hi everybody. I'm still in here in the flower making mode, but I wanted to show you I posted on the group a couple pictures of the flowers that I'm making. The last bunch I made a bunch like this with this peach fabric. So beautiful. Um, Mary Lou sent me a box of, well, she sent me a blanket that she crocheted, but then she sent me also um, scrap fabrics, which are just gorgeous. And this was one of the scrap fabrics. I was able to get, I think, 7 flowers out of them, flowers with the buttons. And then she also had sent, let me see, oh, then there was a piece of, this is a bag. This isn't This isn't quite finished. It still needs a little trim on it. But this is one of my project bags that I make. Well, I don't make the actual bag. I buy the naked bag, it's just like a heavy muslin, and I use that, and then I decorate them up. So here, like on this one, I put a pocket with some Kawandi stitching around, and the pocket is lined. And then I have these little pieces, adorable little squares that I put on one. And then I made, this one has got like a doily, small doily here, and 2 flowers. Now these ones are 3 layers, a larger flower, smaller flower, and then a button. But this is a fabric. What I lined it with is the red truck fabric. That was also in the scrap fabrics that Mary Lou had sent me, and I just love the red truck, and so I used, that was enough fabric to line this bag. Plus, that is the same fabric that's right here on the smaller part of the flowers. I was able to make a few of the flowers out of the rest of that red truck fabric, so none of that went to waste at all. And so I just thought that went well with this kind of almost a farming theme. And the scraps that I used on the Kawandi pocket are scraps. And so I thought that turned out really pretty. I just love that truck in the lining. And so it takes me a little while to get these done, but I found the easiest way or the neatest way I can put the lining in is I stitch the lining on the sewing machine to put it together, but then to stitch it onto the actual bag, it's all hand stitched, just a whip stitch all the way around the top to put that on. So it's neat. It's still going to get a trim around here. So that's pretty. But I had put up some pictures in the group showing some of my flowers, and then I get a lot of questions saying, will you show us how you make the flowers? Well, I have showed a little bit sort of in the in another video, and so I'm going to make a couple more here. This piece of fabric too was this piece of fabric was also in that box of scrap fabrics that Mary Lou had sent me. And so and when I first started making them, I started making my flowers a little bit different. Well, then I changed around, and I changed my habits a little. I gotta get that iron. um, and make them a little bit different. So now what I to make them simpler to do and then neater when they're finished, I do it this way. I have now these pieces are 2.5 inches by 10 inches. You don't need to have it 10, 9 would be enough, but 10 makes it. These ones I use the 10-inch, so it gives it a little bit more ruffle. And I think these ones are 9 inches, and so it's not quite as much as, but still it's a lot of ruffle. And so, but these are 2.5 inches by 10 inches. And if you have a lightweight fabric, it works much better. The heavier fabrics just don't want to work as well. It's just, well, although they do work, you can use a heavier fabric as well. But these ones are a lightweight, like just your regular weight cotton. And so I fold it right in half and I press it. So I have that press seam. I didn't press them at first because I wanted them to be more full, but now I press them and because I find it so much easier. And then I'll take that and fold it in half, and make sure I got that little pressed seam first. Now I'm going to stitch these. I got my sewing machine right here. I've got my sewing machine on a just a minute here. Let me just get this. Wait a minute. Did that come unthreaded? I came unthreaded. So now I'm going to thread this. I gotta rethread it. It just takes me a minute to rethread it because it has the you know what? This is where you pause. This is where you pause for a minute. Okay, I got that one sewed, and I'm going to now sew this second one. And I just make a small seam here down the side. And when I stitch that, I make sure that I back stitch a bit of a distance, and so that it doesn't come unstitched when I do my snipping. So I'm back stitching, and okay. So now I have the both of them, and so I stitch, and then back stitch, and then go down, and then back stitch, because I'm going to snip a little bit more. And this is what I found through trial and error. So now I've got that. Now I have that stitch, but I'm going to now cut. I'm going to cut that edge off right there, just to where my stitching is right to the edge, so that when I turn it over, then when I turn it back to the folded piece, then I don't have a big clump right there in that one spot. You can hand stitch it too if you want to. If you don't have a sewing machine, then you can hand stitch it, and that works just as good too. And so then once I get that, then I'll take that and I press it again. I press it again so it's nice and smooth. It just makes it easier if it's pressed. And so, and what I've been doing is I've been doing like, I'll cut a whole bunch of them and get them to this point. And if I do it this way, and I do it like a, what do you call that? Like getting it all done just piece by piece and doing a whole bunch, conveyor. No, that's not the word. There's a different word. Okay, and so then I'll get that nice and pressed. See, I've got this one. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I just think I do. Oh, well, I was going to take out my box of red ones, but apparently they're, oh, here they are. Like these red ones. I have 50 of these red ones made. And I just made them assembly line. That's the word I was looking for. Just an assembly line method. I was watching some videos on the, and just doing these while I was watching. And so I got a lot started here. But see, as I finish them, then I can layer them with different colors and with the buttons and such. Okay, now these edges are pretty close to perfect matching. But on a couple of them, as I started stitching, then I noticed when I was finished that it really, a couple pieces didn't catch. So I go and now I trim off just a mere bit off of that raw edge. So there's no fraying or anything on there. I just nip off just a bit off of that raw edge. And then it's nice and smooth. And then when you do go start your running stitch around, it closes up nice in the center. So see, I don't cut up much. It's just a small amount that I cut off. Okay, so then those two are ready. Now this was the rest of the piece of the fabric. And so then I want to make the button that goes in the center. Well, now I have some, these are size 24, these buttons. They're 5/8 of an inch across. And that's what I have on these here. Those are a size 24, 5/8 of an inch across in diameter. And so now these ones, between my husband and my daughter, because I ordered the wrong kind when I first ordered some of the covering buttons, so I ordered the wrong kind. I ordered some that didn't have the shank. See, the buttons come in two pieces. The round piece that you cover, and then the back piece that goes in. And see, these have got the shank where you can, well, I had ordered the wrong kind. I had ordered them without a shank, and so I was making them work, but Hubster and daughter said, no, you need to get the kind that work. And so they did. And these came from Amazon. I should put them on my favorite things because I like these. Now this comes with these tools. This little round push thing and this little plastic, these little things. Now I got two different sizes, and my other size jumped ship apparently. The other size is a little bit bigger. They didn't come with this, the larger ones. Where did they go? Well, they darned. But anyway, they jumped ship. The bigger ones just come with this and this. And I wondered, well, why does this come with the smaller ones? Well, I figured that out after playing around with it some. Let me turn my ironing pad over. This here is this is very handy because it's small. It's a Quilter's Cotton Press by Taylor, June Taylor ink. And so you got the ironing board on one side, and then on the other side you've got the cutting board. And so I need that side. And so anyway, now I'll do the button. So now this piece of scrap, and the scraps, this is why I just love scraps. This was just enough to, it was just enough to make 2 flowers. I could maybe make a third one. This might be enough for a third one. I'm gonna use this end right here for my button. Now, when you see the directions, they'll tell you a certain size of circle to cut, but I don't cut the circle. I find it easier for me to just take the piece of fabric. Just take this scrap piece of fabric. Make sure you have enough. And then you push that fabric. This is where this metal piece comes in, because it's, you can't hardly get your finger in there. Well, my finger. I got farming fingers. And so I'll push that down in there. And then I will push that actual button part down in there, and make sure you get that down in there. Okay, so now I have the fabric inside that plastic thing, and now, and the fabric and the button. So now I take my scissor and I'm going to cut around. I'll just cut around, and I use the shape of the tool, that plastic tool thing, as my guide. And I just cut now around. See, now I've got fabric all the way around, and then I'll take and push that fabric down inside of that, and just push that in there. And so it's tucked inside that button. Then you take the second side of the button and you put that in now with a little shank hanging outwards. And then this piece that comes of the tool, you push that in. And these little tiny ones like this are a little bit harder for me anyway to push them. And then I can look in there and I can see, and I can look in there and see, and I can see that yes, it looks like I've got it. Oopsie daisies, let me turn that over and we'll give it an extra push just to be sure. Sometimes you can, on the bigger ones especially, you can kind of hear a little bit of a click. And then I keep my pliers, because I can't get my fingers in there, to pull that out. And then there's my button. There's my button. And the button is all pretty. And so then I'll go with the second piece, and I'll just go with a second with the same piece. Now see, sometimes you might want, with a bigger button, I would maybe want to use and get the center of that flower right on there. And you can do that, but I'm not going to do that right now. Because this is really too small to show, the whole button wouldn't show up. So I'll put that base piece of the button, push that down in there, and then with my scissor I'm going to just cut around. And I find doing it this way is so much easier than trying to first cut a circle, because then trying to get the circle exactly into the right spot, for me anyway, it doesn't happen that way. I get it off centered, and then when I get the button finished, part of it's not covered, and so I do it this way. And so then, now sometimes I've noticed too that some fabrics it's kind of hard to, I just pushed it all in there and then push it down with this. Some of the fabrics, it's kind of hard to, the fabric wants to pop back up. So I find if you moisten it just a little bit, then it sticks down there better. And so, but this is this one, it's going down there good. I pushed it down with this little tool. And then I'll put in the piece, second piece, the one with the shaft on it. I'll put that on there. And then I'll use that second part of the tool, put that down in there, the little tool and then I'll turn it over and push with all your might. Nope, that's not all the way in there. So, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my little teacup here, use that, and my teacup is what I make my tea in. And there, it's in there tight now. And just to push it on there tightly. And the little tiny ones like this, they're just a little bit more tricky than the big ones. The bigger ones are much easier. Okay, so now there I have. Do I have a big one in here? I don't have a big one done up in here. Now, and when you do you don't actually have to have these kind of buttons to go in the middle, because like a lot of my other ones, I have just a button. Like this one, I did 3 layers, but just a button. Oh, and like this one, just a button. You can put in the middle. So, okay, and so then I'll take my needle and thread. And now I'm going to, this is already, it's all pressed, and I never start at the seam. I always want to just jump over the seam. And if I start at the seam, I seem to end up with a lump. I don't know why. But I go about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge of the raw edge, the cut edge. And I just go a running stitch in and out, and I go all the way around. Just go all the way around. And until you get to the other side. All the way around till you get to the other side. See, there's the seam, and I can just go right over that seam. But because you cut that extra fabric off, we don't need any extra fabric to make a bulk. And then it doesn't take long at all to get all the way around. And I have made thousands of yo-yos, and I still love them. I use a lot of yo-yos too, because this kind of flower, if you have this kind of flower and then you layer a yo-yo on top, a smaller yo-yo on top, then that makes a beautiful flower too, which a lot of mine I've done that way. Like this one here. Yeah, see, like that blue is a yo-yo. So they kind of look the same, except the yo-yo is flat on the back. To me, I think these are just easier, the flowers to make. So now I went all the way around, and I always use a double strand of thread on my needle, because a lot of times if you have a single thread, when you're at this point and you want to tie it, you might pull it and the thread might break. And so I always use a double thread. And I use a double thread, and then it keeps it a little tighter. Now, I tied that now with the other end of the thread. I tied it in a knot. But now what I do to kind of secure it, so it doesn't pop open. I guess I don't really need to do that, but I kind of do one cross stitch across from one side to the other, and then a cross from one side to the other. and it just kind of pulls that center. Isn't that pretty with them sunflowers? Now that just kind of pulls that center to get it all nice and neat. And then I still have that little piece of thread there at the bottom. I can tie that, and it just kind of tightens it. And you don't have to do that part. I just kind of do that part. Just, I don't know if I think my flower is going to fall apart if I don't or what, but when I'm tying this knot with this short piece of thread, there we go. I have to be silent. I can't do something. Okay, so then we'll snip that thread off of there. I would, if it was a little longer, I would have left it on there to get my button on. But see how pretty that looks now? So then I would look at it and I'd say, which side do I like better? And like once the button is on, would I want that side or would I want that side? Well, to me, they're both beautiful, so it won't matter. Now, where did I put my blue thread? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there. I'm just going to use this thread. This thread I love. I just love this here thread. This is a, let me see, I'm not sure, it's sulky thread, 12 weight cotton petite. I love this thread. This is, and this is, it's kind of a pricey thread. And see, because my hubster and my daughter also with the order, they ordered me this here. It comes in 6 spools in there, but they called this one the, well, it was the neutral colors. And that's what I needed. I needed some neutral colors. And so, but this here thread is like the weight of one strand of embroidery floss. So when you buy embroidery floss, it's usually in 6 strands. This is 1 strand of it. That's the same weight as 1 strand. But it's nice, heavy thread. It's good thread. So I'm going to use that thread now. I have a blue spool here somewhere hiding under things. And so then I need to thread this needle. And so, glasses here. Get me my glasses. And so I see what I'm doing. And see what I'm not doing. Gosh, these glasses, they just are weird. Okay. You can see that. And so, concentrating again. Now, where did I put my needle threader? And this looks like this needle threader was going to be needed on here. Let's put that right in there. But thank you again, Mary Lou, for, I always want to call her Mary Kay. Mary Lou, for these fabrics. These fabrics are gorgeous. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the sequiny fabric, but I'll find something. Okay, so now I'm going to put another thread in here to tie on the button. And so because I don't want that to come out, I'm going to first put a couple of stitches in there and then put the thread up to catch the button. Now I'll catch the button in through that shank. I love a shank button on these flowers. And these that you can cover to match. Oh, they are so pretty. And there is like so many things you can do with these, because you might even want to put a little flower on your lapel or something. You can use these flowers if you're making little girls' hair clips and put a hair clip on the back, and just anything, just so many things. I'll go back up through there, through the fabric, and then get me another thread through the picking up my scissors, through the shank. And what is she doing, Elizabeth? Elizabeth, what are you doing? Getting your thread all tied around. Okay, there we go. And oh, this one I didn't double. This one I didn't double. I just used one strand, which is not normally what I do, but I just used one strand here. And so, but I get a few stitches in there just to hold that button in there tight. And then we'll go back here and do a couple extra stitches. So I went through the button shank twice. But then I have found that sometimes when I do that, sometimes I pull my flower to where it's a little cattywampus and it doesn't look perfectly symmetrical. And so then I look at it and I say, oh, well, now it looks a little oblong this way. So then I'll just take and put another little stitch in on the long end there and pull it there. And then that pulled it tight, so now it's round again. So, and that's just what I have found that works for me. And so that's that button, the flower button. Isn't that pretty? And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this second one. And like I say, I'm using these on. I'm also going to have a sale on the 1st. I missed my October sale. I didn't do an October sale this month. Usually on the 1st of the month I'll do a sale, but this month was a little well, I didn't do one for whatever reason. I'm sure I had a pretty good reason. I don't know what it is now. But I didn't do a sale. I just didn't feel right doing a sale. And so, but on the 1st of November, I'm going to do a sale. Whatever day that is, I don't even know what day that is. What day the 1st of November is going to be on. But I'm going to do a sale, and the sale will probably start at 4:30. That's usually my time, 4:30 Eastern time. And I'll do that. And I'm going to have some of these flowers in the sale. A lot of my sale is a de-stash. So it's things that I have around the house things that I have around the house that are just need to be de-stashed so I can get a little bit more organized, which I'm working on my organization. And but then I can't just do that and not. Just a minute. What's up, Papa? What do you?
Oh, that's 3.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just going to tell you I'm going to probably watch one more video and then I'm going to lay down.
Oh, okay. You're going to go lay down then?
Well, I'll let you know before I lay down.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go watch a video?
NCIS.
Okay, sweetie pie. All right.
one this is NCIS Hawaii. I've never seen that.
Oh, NCIS Hawaii. Wow. Okay, so
Never watched that.
hubby's gonna go watch that. And so I'm going to work on my flower. So now I've got that whole thing stitched around, and I'll pull that tight in the center, and I'll give it a couple good ties here, a couple good knots. If you first go right over left and then left over right, then you end up with a square knot, and that knot should hold it. Okay, so there, and then I'm going to give it my little square knot, my cross stitch in the center to hold it tight. Make sure that it's good and firm in there. I don't want it to fall to pieces. Okay. Don't want it to fall to pieces. So there we go. Papa went back to watch videos again. Bless his heart. His memory is going quite quickly. But he's still my amazing husband. And so he comes in sometimes, and when I'm doing a video, and he will come and see how things are going. Now I think my thread again is a little too short for my button, so I'm going to give myself a new piece of thread. And but it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see a man who was once so much go to somebody who, well, I don't know how to even say it. He just doesn't have what he had for so many years, for all his life. He's 77 though, so I guess it might be okay and natural or something, but there's a lot of people. I had my uncle over the other day. My Uncle David is 83 years old. 83. He's 10 years. No, he's only 82. He won't be 83 till for a couple more days. He reminded me of that. He's 10 years and 2 days older than I am. And I remember us being on the same school bus in Minnesota, because when the school bus picked up the children back there in the 50s, all the children got picked up on the same bus, elementary through high school, because there wasn't that many kids in our community. And my uncle and I was on the same bus. And he was always drawing pictures. He was always drawing, and he turned out to be a real good draftsman. That's how he made his living. And he's designed some of the most gorgeous houses and buildings and whatnot. But he come up yesterday, and he brought me, oh my gosh, I could not believe, he brought me my grandmother's Bible. The Bible, I can't read a word of it because it's all in Finnish. My grandmother is Finnish, my father was Finnish, my uncle is Finnish, and I'm half finished. But I'm telling you, when he brought me that, I cried. I could not believe I was holding in my hand the Bible that carried my grandmother through all those years. It was wonderful. And so, but he lives about 30 miles from me, but he was going up the state a ways because he was meeting with a group that he bicycles with. And so they went on a 17-mile bicycle ride. 83 years old, this man. And but he still he walks every morning. He walks. He gets this little dog. He's got a therapy dog that he brings to assisted living once a week. And he takes his dog. Him and his dog goes on a 4-mile walk every morning. Yes, my uncle, 83. Oh, there's longevity in that family. My dad didn't live. That's my dad's brother. My dad didn't live to be that age. But so there. Now I've got 2 of those buttons done, or flowers done with the buttons in the center. And I think they're absolutely beautiful. And so, but anyway, so, and then he also brought along, some photo albums so we could like go walk through the past a little bit. And that was amazing and beautiful to see. But this is, whoops, this is my Bible. And somehow this is my Bible that he brought Jenny. And my grandmother's name was Jenny Marie. And my middle name is Marie, and my great-grandmother's middle name was Elizabeth. So that's where my name came from, was my great-grandmother's name and my great-grandmother's name and my grandmother's name. So I got Elizabeth Marie. I got their two middle names. She was at the Nopeming Rest Home, and that's where. But every bit of this is written in Finnish, and the Bible was actually written in 1914. But if you can see the print is just beautiful. But now I wasn't going to do anything to this Bible except just keep it. But then I thought, I have this, and if any of you recognize this here journal was sent to me by somebody, and this, I didn't make this journal. But I want this journal to kind of live with this Bible. I might do something to the cover of this, or I might do something, I'm not sure exactly, but I might actually use this Bible and put pictures in it. Some of my old pictures. Now this here journal was sent to me a couple years ago, I think, by somebody just like this, and it's all beautiful, but it's not signed anywhere. And so then I have forgotten. I guess I could look through some videos and find. Here it says just breathe. It's just beautiful, this that pocket in there. And I love this, and I searched through even the pages that she had put in here to see if I could find any kind of a signature to let me know who made it, but I can't seem to find it. But to me, it looks so vintage. There's fabric pockets, there's fabric pages, paper pages. Look at these pages in here. But what I'm doing with this, and the reason why this is going to go with my Bible, this is going to be I will actually have this tied to this Bible. But in here, like here she's got a vintage postcard in this acetate pocket. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, and because it is so vintage, I thought this is the perfect, and I've been working on this one for a while, but I haven't really gone too far with it. But I've put in, like, this is a picture of my great grandmother, Brita Kinnunen. This is Brita Elizabeth. So I have her middle name, and this is my grandfather. And right now, oh, here it is. It's Henry. Henry and Brita Kinnunen. Henry and Brita Kinnunen were both born and reached adulthood in Suomussalmi, Finland. It is a small village in east central Finland, about 30 kilometers from the Russian border. They were married in Finland on January 14th, 1883. They migrated to the USA and arrived in USA on the 5th of July of 1893. And so that is my great grandparents. So they are in this pocket here. I haven't glued anything in here yet. And then I have an image of my father and my uncle. I gotta write that down too. That's my Uncle Vince. And this is my Uncle David, who was here yesterday. But he's about 9 or 10 here in this. And this was our house, our farmhouse. There's the door that went to the basement. My father always wore these bib overalls. Snow on the ground. But and this is what kind of pictures I'm going to have keep in this book. And then this here, this is my grandmother. This is Jenny. This is my Grandma Soda and my Grandpa John Soda. And this little boy here, that was my Uncle David. That's who was here yesterday. He's now 83. And then this is my oldest brother, and that was Eddie. And this was my cousin, Stephen. But now this was my mother at the time. And I'm in this picture too, but I'm inside her tummy right there. And then my handsome dad and my Aunt Eily. Aunt Eily is still alive. She's 91. She's 91. This was my Uncle Emil. This is my Uncle Henry. He passed away about 2 years ago. He passed away. And then my Uncle Joe and Aunt Jeanette, they've both passed on too. And so I'm just blessed to have this here picture. I think that this is beautiful. And so, and because this is such a vintage book, I put this in here. I don't know why that's not vintage, but it's pretty. And so, a lot of memories. And so here I wrote, here, this is, you can't hardly see, but it's me and my brother. We're peeking out the window when we were just babies in about 1951, that was. I wrote that there. And then this here also was me and my brother. And that was 1950, so I was just months old here. Just, I don't know, probably just barely sitting up there. I was a cute little baby. And then here, then by here we had another child. I had my little sister Catherine. And so then this one was my brother Eddie and myself, and then my sister Catherine. And so this is the kind of pictures that, and I have more too, but you see how vintage these pages look? It just is a perfect, it's just perfect for the pictures of my family. Now here is my brother Eddie, myself, and my sister Catherine. Now we were a little older here, and we're standing by the Christmas tree. I remember my mother, she was just, oh, she was something else. But this tinsel on the tree, you can't really see the tinsel on the tree, but there's tinsel on the tree, and the tinsels at the end, we had to be very careful around the Christmas tree that we didn't disturb anything there. And but she would then take the tinsels off of the tree just one at a time and put them in a package so that they could be used again next year. And she had everything just so, and that was about 1954 that picture was taken. And then look at these, and here is a fabric page again. I just love it that there's fabric. This here is like a yeah, the cardstock. Then here is, I just wrote a wee baby because I don't know who this baby was, and it doesn't say, but it must have been one of us, and just naked as a jaybird right there on that page. And then here is, we were in New Jersey while visiting Grandpa and Grandma Lockwood, and this is when we were swinging. We were at the park. Our grandpa took us. I remember this. I remember this day. And Grandpa took us to the park, and we were swinging, and he took pictures of my brother and I when we were the only ones. It ended up with 6 children, but and here again we were in New Jersey still, and we were in the water, and we were just visiting. And then this was my Uncle David. Who was here yesterday, and then this was baby Eddie. So this was my oldest brother when he was just really little. And then this little house right here, that was the pump house and the milk house. So the pump was on this side, and then the milk house was on the other side of this building. And so, watching over nephew Alan Edward Joda. Yeah, watching over my brother. He was Alan Edward Jr., my Uncle David. And so this is going to be a whole book of memories. And then here, that's my brother. And then look at me running around in my skivvies there. All them ruffles on my bum. That was me. That was the summer of 1950. So I don't have any of these glued in yet. I don't know why I haven't glued them. I just kind of put them. And because I don't know if I want to switch them around. And I've got a lot more pictures that I want to put in here. But if you are the one that sent me this, I'd like to know if you're watching, and because I'd like to acknowledge who made this for me, because it is just beautiful. And then here is a rusted piece of fabric just in here. I guess I could take it out and use it on something else, but I'm leaving it in there right now. I'm stitching on there, and then she put some ephemeras in the back pocket. This is nobody I know. This might be me, but and so, but I love this book so much, and I'm using that for my family memories. But then when when my uncle gave me this Bible yesterday, then I thought, when he gave me this Bible yesterday, I want this Bible to go with this journal. And I could maybe just leave it all together, but I could tuck pictures in these pages in here with not disturbing the Bible, but just having pictures and notes in there. And but I'm going to get like this here tie that ties this whole thing together. It's muslin, beautiful muslin. I I just it just to have these two things together as family memories, I think it is just perfect. And so that was my day yesterday, is having my uncle and going through the pictures. He brought 3 photo albums, and we went through those 3 photo albums, and they were just absolutely, I could have not been a happier camper. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I have, let's see what I have here. I have everything but the kitchen sink up here, the fire behind the kitchen sink. Okay, see, so I have this one not quite finished. Then I have this one that I've probably shown them already. This one is my blue one. This one's a little bit bigger. And this one is finished. The inside lining, and it's got the little pocket purse. The doily is a pocket. And so here you can put this little coin purse in the pocket. You can put your gloves in this pocket, your mask, whatever you can use. Don't put your ink pen in there because it'll fall out the hole. So this one, I think this one is finished. And then this one, let me see, what have I done on this one? Now this one here, it's got some pretty beads on here. This one here, I've got a button here. Did I put, oh, I haven't put the little, this one's going to get a little coin purse with it too. And this one's got some of the flowers with the bigger buttons on them. And the inside is lined. This is the one I lined with Tim Holtz fabric. I've showed that before. And the lining fabrics matches the flowers that I have. Doilies are stitched on, and then the pocket, and then a Tim Holtz fabric that lines the pocket. And then this one, this was the first one I did. And this one too has like a doily that I used for the pocket, and it's got the little coin purse, and that one, they'll all have a coin purse when I'm finished. And so, but then they match that way. And I think this one's finished. I'm not sure if I want to add more. This one I added to the handle. And so, but the linings are so pretty. But so that's what I have so far in my bags. 4 bags that I have in the process, and some of them are finished. But they're going to be available on the 1st as well. But I think what I'm going to do here is, like, I might make up a collection of flowers, of just different flowers. Maybe I would make like a half a dozen different flowers in a bundle, and put a price on them. This one's a little different. This was some fabric. I'd never seen this before, and somebody had this in their little auction, and I said, well, I have never seen that before, so I went ahead and bought some 4 different color, but it's real fuzzy. Now these ones here are, you know, they're just 1 layer, but I thought that turned out, I made a couple of those little flowers out of that fabric. It's so pretty. And but let's see, maybe if I make a collection, or maybe I should make a collection of all the same fabrics, just different. I don't know. Because see, these ones, all those flowers are the same fabric, but decorated differently. And then like these ones are, I could do that and just make a collection of blues, something like that. I'm not sure yet, but because I'm still making flowers. I'm telling you, I'm just so into these flowers. And now when I'm finished with this video, I'm probably just going to make some more flowers, because I'm just loving this. It's just, I'm having so much fun with the flowers, and I know because I've got a short attention span, that I might end up, I'll stop making flowers and I'll just get onto something different. But I like decorating my bags. Takes quite a while to get one of my bags done up. But yeah, that's what I think. So now, oh, you know what? I wanted to see if I can find something to read from this book, Apples of Gold. Um, these are all little things about. This book is there about love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. And the material in this book has been collected over a long period of time. Many of the original sources are unknown to the compiler. The compiler wishes to acknowledge the original authors, whoever they may be, but has confidence that they would urge with her, do not inquire as to who said this, but pay attention to what is said. And so, and there is just a whole lot of, let me see. I have not read much in this book, but I find that it's got a nice cushy cover. It's beautiful. This one's just about joy, and I won't read like the whole thing because I think each line or each paragraph is actually a, by a different author. And here it says, joy. There is nothing I can give you which you have not, but there is much that while I cannot give you, you can take. No heaven can come to us unless our hearts find rest in it today. Take heaven. No peace lies in the future which is not hidden in the present instant. Take peace. The gloom of the world is but a shadow. Behind it, yet within reach, is joy. Take joy. See that? That is some interesting stuff. And then this one, next one said, it is easy to be pleasant when life flows by like a song. But the man worth while is one who will smile with everything goes dead wrong. For the test of the heart is trouble, and it always comes with the years. And the smile that is worth the praises of earth is the smile that shines through the tears. And here it says, keep your enthusiasms and forget your birthdays. Formula for youth. So there's a lot of really, really, really neat stuff in here. I mean, each line, like here it says, hate is a prolonged manner of suicide. Yes, don't hate. You don't even use that hate. I hear some people use the word hate a lot. They go, oh, I hate these kind of pins. Well, don't hate. No, don't hate anything. You know, there's some pins you might like better than other pins, but don't hate. Just get that word out of your, yeah. Here it says, some women work hard to make good husbands that they never quite manage to make good wives. Now, isn't that the truth? Some women work so hard to make good husbands that they never quite manage to make good wives. Love sees through a telescope, not a microscope. That's so true. Some people give and forgive, others get and forget. If you had it to do over, would you fall in love with yourself again? A woman worries about the future until she gets a husband. while a man never worries about the future until he gets a wife. There's a lot of food for thought in each one of these. Ceremonies are different in every country, but true politeness is everywhere the same. This is some good stuff there, and I'm going to read through this book a little bit more because I think there's a lot of things in here that I might want to write on tags. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, okay, well, I'll put it up for now. But those are apples of gold. I've heard of this book before, and we've actually had it here in this house for a long time, but I've never just really cracked it open and read it. It was given to my husband as a gift by his sister in '93, so I guess it's time that I look at it. So it's been around this house for a couple decades, but I've never really read it. So, but I just took it off the shelf and I said, take the dust off of that and let's see what's in that book. So, anyhow, thank you. I've kept you for over an hour here, but just to show you two little bitty flowers. And then, but I just run my mouth like it's just going to run out of time. And so that's what I did. But thank you again. I want to say thank you again to Mary Lou for these fabrics. I pulled this one out of the box. I want to work with this one, and so I think I'm gonna work on that one still this evening while I watch some videos. I'm working on some journal kits that I'm gonna put together for my sale too, which I took my for sale junk journal kits collections off of my list because I'm revamping them. They're going to be different. I'm still going to have some junk journal kits, but the junk journal kits are going to have a cover this time. And so I'm working on them too. I'll be showing you those before I actually do the sale too, so you can see what I got. Okay, I'm going to ask God to watch over each and every one of you, every step you take and every move you make, keep you safe and secure, keep you happy, healthy, and humble. And I will see you on the next video. And make flowers, pick flowers, do anything you want with flowers. Okay, God bless and keep you all. Good night.